checking, and we are live. Yes, we are. Hello, Liz.
Hi, Shreya.
Hi, everyone. This is Liz with... Liz, tell us, what are we going to do today?
Today we are doing a deep shavasana, so a guided meditation, a guided lying down meditation. I've brought a few of my singing bowls and a little koshi chime to help you relax. So what I'd love for you guys to have is like pillows, blankets. You're gonna build yourself a little like blanket fort to lie in, a little nest. And we're really just here to feel spacious and good in our bodies. So gather up some stuff. We're gonna do a little bit of movement, like 5-10 minutes of movement before we really start to relax. Because It's always good to move the body before relaxing.
And how long does it take us? 45 minutes?
We're gonna be doing this for about 45 minutes.
Okay, cool.
If I keep my eye on the clock. If I get carried away, maybe 50.
Cool. Maybe the most important thing is their space. They have like, they can close the door and they have like a nice...
Yeah, try to be in a cozy space, but at the same time, we're all living in an unusual situation. And, if you've got kids running around or your spouse or somebody is making dinner next to you, like that's okay too,
Okay.
We take the space that we can get. We create it ourselves.
And with AirPods or headphones, maybe it's nice for them to have headphones.
If you've got an eye pillow to cover your eyes, that's the ultimate. And actually, as people are logging on now, shall we do a little sound check?
Yeah.
Because Ferdinand and I are always curious how the bowls sound. Do you guys hear that okay? Is it piercing? Is your computer screen cracking? Are your ears bleeding? Or can you even hear
And
that?
it's like
You're getting thumbs up?
like a thumbs up. They say yes.
That's like a sneaky preview of what's going to happen. Hey, thanks guys.
Yes. Okay.
So guys, welcome. Welcome home. Welcome home to your bodies. We don't need any special props in our movement, but if you have a blanket and you want to sit on it, you're welcome to. I'm going to take you through a few things to start with shoulders and neck, because I think a lot of us right now are working from home or working from home while doing endless housework and homeschooling. So we're probably all a little bit like this. So let's kind of loosen up a little. So the first thing I'd like you to think about is this bowl and your hips. So if your hips are like this bowl, I want you to sink down into the bowl of your hips. Really feel that sink down. Sink down into the bowl of your hips. Now you might choose to sit cross-legged. You might choose to sit like this on your knees. There's a possibility you want to be standing right now because you've been sitting all day. So if you've been sitting all day, you can do all of the next exercises standing as well. So that's how many options we have. This is your practice. This is your time. So let's begin now just by thinking of the heavy bowl-like shape of the hips. Really let all your stress, all the tension that you may have built up today, kind of pour down and pool in the bowl of your hips. That includes your belly. So a nice soft belly, everything dropping down into that bowl-like shape of your hips. Let the thighs drop and the feet relax. And then think of the roof of your mouth. The roof of your mouth is going to float. So while your whole body is draining tension and dropping downwards, you're deep in the bowl of your hips. The roof of your mouth is like a balloon, it floats high. And let your spine lengthen just by floating the roof of your mouth. The roof of your mouth floats up towards the center of your brain. You feel your eyelids and your eyeballs soften. And then begin to breathe really consciously here. So that every time you breathe in, you feel the lower belly, the upper belly, and then the chest expand with the breath. And every time you breathe out, you're dropping down into that bowl-like shape of the hips. Every time you breathe in, the sides of the hips, the sides of the waist, and just underneath the armpits expand with the breath. And every time you breathe out, you're dropping down into the bowl-like shape of the hips. Let's take a few breaths now to feel the back of the body, the lower back, the middle back, and the upper back. And then again, that exhale is just draining tension from the day, from the week, down into the bowl of the hips. Let's take 2 or 3 more breaths here. So simple, just watching the breath move the body. And we'll start to add a little bit of movement here. We're going to take the arms out to the side. We inhale, the palms look up. We reach up towards the ceiling. Feel that space between the ribs, the space in the waist, and then exhale to float the arms back down. We drop back down into the bowl of the hips. We inhale, we reach up. Widen and lift. Find the space in your body. And we exhale and drop back down into the bowl of the hips. We're going to take this into a twist. We inhale. Reach it up. Find that space between every rib and the sides of the belly. And then exhale and twist to the right. We inhale, we reach up, we find space around the bottom rib cage, the top of the waist. And we exhale and we twist to the left. Let's take this one last time. We're going to inhale and reach it up. Now press your middle fingers up towards the ceiling. Just see here if you can find some space around the shoulder blades. So give your shoulder blades a little wiggle. The shoulders might move up and down, a little space. Space to move, space to breathe. Find some freedom in the shoulders. Find some freedom in the rib cage with the breath. And then reach the arms forwards. And I'm just going to turn around so I can show you that what we're doing here is we're going to find some space on the shoulder blades again. So as you breathe, you squeeze your shoulder blades down the back and together, and then we're going to reach out through the arms. And you can feel your back body widening as you press the middle fingers forwards and the shoulders squeeze up and they grow down. So we're looking for a full range of movement here in the shoulder blades. And again, you can sit in any position while you take these movements, or you could be standing. Let's take those in the other direction. The shoulder blades squeeze down, squeeze together, squeeze up towards the ears, and then they widen as you reach the fingertips forwards. It's like we're shrinking the arms back and then reaching the arms forwards to lengthen them. Let's take that one more time. And then exhale, drop the arms. We're going to take the right arm behind the body and hold on to the left upper arm. Let both elbows sink heavy. Find the bowl of the hips, let that bowl sink heavy. So heavy bum on the floor, relaxed feet and thighs. And then float the roof of the mouth. Take a deep breath in, drop the shoulders and the elbows heavy. And exhale, release the left ear towards the left shoulder. Now you start to move in any way that feels good. So you could drop the chin towards the chest. You could run it down along the collarbones. You might lift the chin high. You might drop the head slightly back. We're looking for a range of movement in the neck. Move your neck in a way you haven't moved it yet today. And then to release the jaw, you might start to open and close your mouth slightly or slowly. Your right elbow sinks towards the floor. Just explore that space on the right side of the neck. Any movement that feels good. And then we're going to switch sides. Let's drop the chin down. Release the arms, and now it's the left hand that holds the right arm or elbow. And then inhale, roll the left ear towards the left shoulder. And this is just a moment to dive into your own body. So you may have spent all day worrying about outside things. And now the only thing that you need to focus on is how this movement feels. Left elbow hangs heavy. Move your head in a way that you haven't moved it yet today, or maybe ever. You can't do this wrong. Anything that feels good, that feels like a, oh yeah, there it is moment. That's what you're looking for. And you might open and close the mouth to get deeper into the jaw. Anything goes. And then let the chin hang down to the base of the neck again. Release the arms. And slowly look up. So if you're choosing to be standing right now because you've been sitting all day, you can even do this standing, but I'm going to show it seated. We're going to get into the feet, into the energy of the legs and into the energy of the feet. This just helps us feel like we're grounded and really present in the body. Pick up the right foot, and we're going to take our fingers, slide them between the feet. You can hold your leg any way you'd like. It's just to be comfortable. And then start to take some turns at the ankles, but also look for movement in the toes. So we're just opening up the feet to create more space between every toe. And then pull your fingers out. And even though none of us here are professional, this is like lint for my feet, that's attractive. Even though we're not professional massage people here, that's Antony's job. But we're going to give ourselves a little foot massage just to feel the soles of our feet, to create some space between the toes, to make that foot feel a little bit more alive. And then give the ankle a little turn, one direction, the other. Give the knee a little bit of movement. The hip a little bit of movement. There are no rules here. We're just getting into the energy of the legs. Drop that right leg down. We're going to do it on the left side. Your fingers come in between every single toe, really get down into the webbing. And then just hold the shin and find some movement. Whatever movement you've got, explore it. So how can you wiggle your toes here? Move through the ankles, bringing some energy and some attention into the feet to find our grounding. And then use your fingers, pull the toes, and we give ourselves a little amateur foot massage. Just awakening the energy of the feet. And then point and flex the foot a few times. A few circles with the ankles. A little movement in the knee. And then a little bit of movement in the hip. And then both legs come forwards. If you're standing, you take a standing forward fold. If you're seated, a seated forward fold. And let's take this seated forward fold. We're going to be here for about 1 minute. And instead of trying to stretch the hamstrings and grip and pull, instead, I'd like you to feel your heels on the floor, your calves on the floor, your bum on the floor. Get into that heavy bowl-like shape of the pelvis, of the hips. Feel your 3-part yogic breath move the lower belly, upper belly and chest, lower back, middle back and upper back. Drain tension here. So that the whole body feels like it's coming home to the earth. And yet the roof of the mouth is soft and lifted. Let's take a few more breaths here just to explore the space that the breath is creating inside the body. And then we're going to slowly walk the hands back up. Or you come up to standing if you were standing before. I'm going to take one last movement of a little back bend. I confess this is not really an asana. This is just a movement that I've been doing to keep me feeling good in the last couple of weeks. So I'm going to share with you a bit of my personal practice. So, elbows lift open. We're really opening ourselves out to kind of what is, surrendering to what is. What else can we do? And so the elbows drop down, then they push forwards. The fingertips reach back. And can you feel how your shoulder blades are starting to scoop up into your rib cage? I'll show you from the side as well. That we're scooping the bottom of the shoulder blades up to lift the ribs high, to spread open the front of the chest. Feel the energy moving out through the fingers. Scoop the elbows down and forwards and then lift them. Feel the space from the armpits moving away from each other, the elbows moving away from each other. And if you're feeling really open, really surrendered to what is, or maybe really celebratory in this moment of opening up, then you might even come up to standing or coming up onto your knees to feel that full lift. Breathe deeply down into the core, into the bowl of the hips. And let that breath start down deep in the hips, but move up into the center of the chest. And then slowly come down. So guys, that's our movement practice. It's time to relax. So we're going to take about 2 minutes just to get settled. And that's for me to get ready and for you to get ready as well. And so things I'd recommend is, first of all, make yourself warm. Really make yourself warm. If you feel your floor is cold, grab an extra layer to lie down on, like an extra blanket. You want to make sure that your head feels supported. You want to be in a nice, dark atmosphere.
Are they seated or lying down?
I would lie down. This is Shavasana. Yeah. Now, if you don't enjoy Shavasana because it creates back pain or pain in the neck, prop yourself up. You could even have the knees bent and the feet on the floor. If you prefer lying on your side, particularly if you're pregnant, you might want to lie on your left side. There are no rules in Yoga Nidra. It's just an opportunity to rest. And you're going to know best how your body rests. So always trust your own instincts. You know best. And then begin to feel your body sink down into the floor. This is that moment to surrender. To surrender to what is. Maybe the place you're in right now isn't the perfect place for your Yoga Nidra, but you know what? Everything is just as it should be. Welcome home. Welcome home to this practice of Yoga Nidra. Welcome home to your body. And know that right now that all the work and all the running around and all the worry can just be put aside, that you're in the right place, that this is the perfect time to be practicing Yoga Nidra, and that there's nothing that you need to do right now to make this situation more perfect for you. It already is. And so just allow your body to settle into whatever you're lying down on. Allow yourself to settle. Bones heavy and sinking into the floor. And there's no right or wrong way to do this Yoga Nidra. You're already doing it perfectly. You're in the perfect place. All you need to do is maybe listen a little to the sound of my voice. And maybe the mind can focus on a few instructions, but just let whatever happens, happen. Whatever arises, arises. And whatever you can let go of, you let go. And so please, if it's comfortable, close your eyes. Please, if it's comfortable, close your eyes. And feel the soft eyelids close over your gentle eyeballs. And with the eyes softly closed, turn your gaze inwards. Inwards to your own experience. Inwards towards that place deep inside you that you know is always calm and always quiet. Welcome home. And then with the eyes closed, I'd like you to imagine the room that you're in right now and all the space in that room. So you have your body somewhere in a room, and then there are walls maybe around you, and think of the space between you and the walls around you. And then please become aware of the space inside the holes in your ears. And can you imagine that the space in the holes in your ears is opening up so that your ears become these open caverns, these open caves, and sound can just come into those open caves in your ears. What are the sounds that you can hear right now inside the room you're in? So in that space between you and your body and the walls around you, what sounds do you hear right now? And then what sounds do you hear outside the room you're in right now? What's the furthest away sound you can hear? And then can you hear sounds that are so close to you? They might even be coming from your own body, like the sounds of your breath, or the sounds of maybe your tongue moving in your mouth, the sounds of you swallowing, the sounds of your belly. What sounds inside your body can you hear? Let your ears become these just open receptors of sound, so that sound can flow into the body. That space that's in your room can flow into the space inside the holes in your ears, so that you become this spacious vessel open to the experience of sound and rest. Now follow the holes in your ears down the sides of your neck, like the tubes of the ear canals, and can you feel them also open and become more spacious in the sides of your throat. And then can you feel the space around your eyeballs? Can you feel the space around your eyeballs? Can you feel the space inside your nose and your sinuses? Can you feel the space inside your mouth? Let the tip of the tongue fall away from the surfaces inside the mouth. Begin to notice the space from the roof of your mouth as it floats to the tongue as it drops inside your mouth. And then bring some space between the top and bottom row of teeth. And then is there even a little bit of space behind the very back molar? So you have 4 final teeth, 4 back molars, maybe wisdom teeth, and can you feel space behind those teeth? Can you feel space between the 2 temples? And then allow yourself to feel your breath circulate and swirl in that spaciousness of the head. Now go down to the heavy hips. So you feel the weight of the back of the hips sink down into the floor, that bowl-like shape of the hips. And inside the bowl-like shape of the hips, can you feel the space between the right and left hip? The space between the organs in the belly. And then in that space, can you feel your breath gently swirl and circulate, move around through the space inside the hips and the lower belly? Notice the rib cage and the space between every single rib. The space between the right lung and the left lung. The space of the heart. And maybe you can feel your breath swirl and circulate and move and float in the spaces in your chest. And then from the center of the heart, you might move upwards to that place where the 2 collarbones meet. This little space between the right and left collarbone at the base of the throat. This sweet little indent. And then notice the space between the 2 collarbones, that sweet little indent at the base of the throat, the space between that point and the right shoulder. Then the space between the right shoulder and the right elbow. Between the right elbow and the right wrist. Notice the right hand. Can you feel the space that you're holding right now in the palm of your right hand? The temperature of the air that you're holding gently in a sweet caress, the air in the palm of the right hand. Then the space between the thumb and the index finger, the index finger and the middle finger and ring finger and baby finger, the space between the fingers, the space inside the palm. Then can you feel the space between the right arm and the right side of your body? And then back up to the right shoulder and that space between the two collarbones, where the two collarbones meet at the base of the throat. And then over to the space in the left shoulder, the space between the left shoulder and the left elbow and wrist. Notice that little bit of air that you're holding in the left palm of the hand. Can you feel the temperature of that air as your fingers gently curl around? And then the space between the tip of the left thumb and the left index finger and middle finger to ring finger to baby finger. So that your hand becomes this spacious thing, the spaces between the fingers, the space that you're holding in the palm of your hands. Notice the space between the left arm and the side of the left body. And then the left shoulder, and then along the left shoulder or collarbone to that space between the two collarbones. Notice the back of the ribs spreading into the floor, the space between the rib cage, between the ribs and the back body. And that little sweet arch of the lower back and the space between the back of the navel and the floor. And go back down to that heavy bowl of the hips. From the right hip to the right knee to the right ankle. And then the sole of the right foot and the air against the sole of the right foot and that little bit of space held by the sole of the right foot. Then the space between the right big toe and second toe and third toe and fourth toe and baby toe, the space between every toe on the right foot. And then the whole space between the right leg and the left leg. Can you feel that space between the two legs? Go back up to the right hip, and there's a little bit of space between the right hip and the left hip, where the organs are nestled in space inside the bowl of your hips. Feel the breath swirl and circulate between the organs in the bowl of the hips. And then from the left hip to the left knee to the left ankle, and then to the sole of the left foot. Where you can feel against the sole of the left foot this little bit of space that you hold in the sole of the left foot. The left big toe, and then the space between the left big toe and the second toe. Second toe and third toe and fourth toe and baby toe. The spaces between the left toes. Then can you feel again the space between the left leg and the right leg? Draw all your mind, your full focus up to the left hip, and then to the core, the center of that bowl of the hips where you feel the organs swirling in breath. Feel the spaciousness of the breath as the breath moves deep in the belly. The space between the navel and the lower back. The space around the diaphragm. And then the space inside the rib cage and the lungs. And as you breathe here, can you feel the breath create space deep inside the body? So that your whole body is filling with space, an experience of the body as space, infinite and vast space. Feel now the whole body as space that you hold within your skin. Feel the whole body as space. become aware of your breathing. And can you feel your breath in your skin? Feel your breath bristle against the hairs on your arms. The breath kissing the skin. Now bring your awareness past the skin to the space that surrounds the body, just a few millimeters or a few centimeters around your body. Can you feel the space in front of your body, between you and the ceiling? To the sides of your body, the space at the sides of your body. And then the spaces underneath your body, maybe under the ankles or the backs of the knees, the space under the lower back or underneath the curve of the neck. Where do you feel space underneath you? Bring your awareness to the skin of the forehead and the space above the skin of the forehead. And with a soft internal gaze, with eyes closed, can you look into that space above the forehead? Not with any expectation of seeing anything, but just with a gentle, open curiosity to explore the space deep within. And then from this space, over the forehead, can you feel the space surrounding your whole body? And can you feel that space surrounding your whole body join the space inside your body? So that your experience of yourself is one of vastness, of endless space, inside and outside. So that you become an experience of infinite space. And now please bring your awareness back to the contours of your body, to the sensations of your skin. Where do you feel the air in the room on your skin? What parts of your skin feel cool? And what parts of your skin feel the most warm? And now please become aware of what parts of your body are touching the ground. And can you feel that solid, heavy support of the earth underneath your heels and the calves, the hips, the heavy elbows, the heavy shoulder blades, the back of the heart space, the back of the head? Can you feel that support of the solid earth underneath you? So that now maybe the experience of the body is this perfect, balanced combination of open space and solid ground. And then from this solid ground underneath you, begin to deepen your breath so that your breath begins in the solid ground and comes up into that vast, infinite space. Begin to deepen your breath from that place of solid ground into that place of infinite space. And feel your breath expand out and touch the very contours of your physical body so that you can feel your breath in your skin. Now that this practice of Yoga Nidra is coming to a close, and so it might feel nice now to slowly bring movement back into your body. And let's maybe start that movement with the toes and a wiggling of the toes and a feeling through the heels and the soles of the feet. And then maybe moving a little in the knees and in the hips and a little in the chest and the shoulders, through the elbows and wiggling the fingers so that your skin and your body comes alive. You might choose to roll your head from one side to the other, to move your face, to move the lips and the tongue. And then whenever you feel ready, please take a deep breath into the spacious, open belly and exhale to push the lower back into the floor. Feel that solid ground beneath you and inhale, draw the knees into the chest and give yourself a proper hug. And slowly roll over to one side. And you might choose to come up to sitting, or you could choose just to stay lying down. Don't worry, we're not judging. Take your rest. And this practice is now coming to an end. And we are back in our bodies, knowing that we are on solid ground, and yet still spacious and vast, our true nature. And so I wish all of you guys a really brilliant weekend. In our link tree just above us, in Instagram, there is a little donation button. We'd be very grateful if you'd like to donate for this class. And if you're watching on YouTube, I think you can go to the Yogaground website as well for that donation button. And so thank you very much. Stay healthy. Hari Om Tat Sat. Namaste.